The first step in our methodology begins with a system overview. And a system overview requires that you sit down and make a plan for your overall system in a very general way. It involves creating a mission statement. Now, it may sound kind of funny to have a mission statement for your database, but it's very important for you to understand what the intention behind your database is. You know, very few people wake up in the morning and say, "Hey, I'm going to go make a database." It just doesn't happen. And if it does, I haven't met them. But creating a database is usually to fill a need. And that need is usually external to the person who's designing the database. You may be at home designing databases for your own use, and in which case you can answer all the questions. But it often involves discussion with the people who are going to be using the database. And then through that interview process, you can find out exactly what their needs are. Take a look at this slide. Here at the top, I've summarized a few key details in creating a mission statement. These key points for creating a mission statement are intended to apply to a company, a corporation, and creating a mission statement for that business. You can use the same thought process behind that to create a mission statement for your database. For example, the system that we're going to be working with throughout this training is called Swift Office Mart. It's an office supply company. And if I answer those questions that you'll see above, we have what opportunities or needs do we exist to address? And in this case, what opportunities or needs does the database exist to address? So quite simply put, I want to manage the customers, employees, sale history, and inventory for my business. What are we doing to address these needs? We'll need to produce appropriate reports. These may be printed reports or on-screen reports, in other words, summaries of the information. And we're going to need tools to effectively manage our business. And that's where the database comes in. What principles or beliefs guide our work? Now, that's intended for business and the philosophies and the beliefs behind the business at work. But we can still apply that to our database. And my short answer was, we'll strive to present the information in a way that is easily digestible to the users. And that's going to be different for every single scenario. That's really up to the users that you're building the database for, so you need to have a good grasp of what they need. As you begin interviewing your users, even if one of those users are yourself, you need to answer some simple questions. So you're going to meet with the department heads and with the individual users of the database, and you're going to ask them questions. What do you hope to get out of the database? Or what information do you need managed? As you ask these questions, you can create a task list for yourself, which you'll see at the bottom part of this screen. The task list is a point-by-point summary of the functions that a database is going to handle. And these functions are expressed in simple English. At this point, you're not trying to create any diagrams, you're not writing up any plans or connecting any information. All you're doing is looking at the data that they're currently managing and asking them what their needs are. What kind of reports are driven? What kind of reports do you need? What kind of information do you want summaries of? What mailouts do you do? What data do you need to track inside the business in order to understand your job or to manage your position? You create a task list. This task list could be a lot more detailed for a real business scenario, but for the purposes of this training, I wanted to eliminate some of the complexities and stick to the task at hand. So I've eliminated just a couple of things in here that would be obvious to an office supply house. And that's step number 1, system overview. The more time you spend doing your planning, the less time you're going to spend correcting errors later on.